Well, we are going to make the perfect chocolate cake this morning with help from an expert. Suzy Gazzellone from Suzy's Cake Angels joins us. What makes the perfect chocolate cake?
The perfect chocolate cake, cocoa.
Okay.
The better quality cocoa you have, the better tasting your chocolate cake will be.
And then how do you know what a good quality cocoa is?
The intensity of the chocolate, like you can tell it's pure, there's no sugar in there. So you want to read the labels. I mean, some stores, grocery stores have them available. I usually get it from a supplier that particularly sells really good stuff. But in my book, I actually I have a recommendation on my favorite cocoa, so you can always look for that one, and that's a really good one. That's the
so
only
let's
one
get started. You've got, I love cooking like this where somebody's already laid everything out.
Organized and nicely, and we're just gonna go with the flow. So first off, we're gonna sift all the dry ingredients, and I have the flour in here. I'll get you to dump in the cocoa, pour the cocoa.
Oh, cocoa first?
Let's do the cocoa first.
And why do we sift?
So sifting helps aerate the ingredients, breaks up all the clumps, so that it evenly distributes all the ingredients throughout.
Okay.
So we have the sugar, we did the cocoa, and then we have the leavening agents to help the cake rise. And then a key ingredient with making chocolate cake, the espresso.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you add the espresso, that intensifies the taste of the cake, the chocolate, the flavor of the
This is going to be a really good cake, I think, because my grandmother always used to, she would just take, like, you know, leftover coffee, not espresso, but like just pour a little bit of coffee in there.
Actually, one of the ingredients we are going to use is hot water, but let's say we did not put the espresso, you can always brew some coffee.
Yes.
And you add that in, and again, any coffee intensifies the chocolate taste in a chocolate cake. So you never want to skip out on that if that's what it indicates in the recipe. So we have our 2 eggs, and then we're gonna pour the oil.
And what kind of oil do you use?
I use grapeseed oil, that's my favorite, but you can use vegetable oil, that works just as well. And oil is an unsaturated fat that actually remains liquid. So even after the cake has cooled, it helps the cake stay good longer.
So, and moist.
And moist. It adds to the moistness, the softness, that fluffy crumb that the cake has. And then we have buttermilk. So buttermilk, again, adds to the moisture.
What if you don't have buttermilk?
If you don't have buttermilk, that's okay. You just get 1 cup of milk and 1 teaspoon of either apple cider vinegar or lemon juice. You put it in, and there you go.
So it needs a little bit of an acid.
It needs an acid, yeah. And then we're gonna stir that, we're gonna whisk that, And once that's pretty much blended, we'll pour it into here. Perfect, that's good.
Is that good?
Yeah, we can just pour that
It's good enough.
It's gonna work out well. We've got great cocoa today, so that's gonna work perfectly. So I'm just gonna pour it in here. And when you are mixing in the ingredients, it's important to not overmix, because if you do overmix, it creates a lot of density in the cake.
So just like with pastry then, don't mix it too much.
Don't mix it too much, otherwise, yes, it gets too dense. And you know, for chocolate cake, I prefer something nice and soft. I'm not sure about you, but I enjoy that.
You don't want it to be like a brownie.
No, or
nothing against brownies.
Nothing against brownies, but brownies are brownies and chocolate cake is chocolate cake, right?
Yes.
And we don't want something hard to be, you know, too hard to eat. So we have some boiling water there.
And why do you use hot water?
Hot water is important because it actually helps bloom the cocoa, and what that means is it helps dissolve the cocoa in the chocolate cake.
Am I pouring the whole thing in?
Yeah, we're gradually going to pour that. Be careful, it is hot water, so you want to make sure it's...
And does it need to be boiling?
It does need to be boiling, yes. That's part of the blooming process. And again, it contributes to the taste and the flavor of the chocolate cake. So once this is all mixed, it's a very thin batter, as you will be able to see.
Yeah, it looks runnier than I expected, but you want that.
You want that, you want that. This should be a very thin batter. So right now it looks very liquidy.
We've got 30 seconds.
Yeah, so this is what the chocolate cake will look like. You put it in the oven for 350, let it bake for about 30 to 35 minutes, and then you have that beauty right there.
It ends up like that? No, only it's Suzy from Suzy's Cake Angels almost does it, yeah. And you made the buttercream icing.
So you make the buttercream. I usually just add cocoa to my buttercream icing, which butter, icing sugar, and then some hot cocoa, a little bit of vanilla, because again, the vanilla contributes to the flavor. And then we put it together, and that's what we get.
All of the recipes and all of the tips are in your cookbook.
Plenty of chocolate recipes in my book. I love chocolate, so there's a lot in there.
Okay, we love that you're here on a Monday morning. You made Mondays better for us.
Thank
Suzy.
you, thank you.
We'll get all your links up on our website at chch.com/morninglive.